Unfiltered, the official Sunderland AFC podcast.
Hello everyone and welcome to SAFC Unfiltered. Myself and Danny are back at the Academy of Light, but we're not speaking to a current player or coach, we're speaking to a former player, aren't we, Danny?
We are, yeah. Kieran Richardson's going to be joining us a long time since, well, I've certainly seen him and spoke to him, so it'll be good to catch up.
Yes, we are back here at the Academy of Light in a glass box amongst the coaches' room as well. It's a hive of activity down here during the week. Obviously, you've been out there doing your A licence still. You've been working with the 18s, I believe, this morning. But obviously, the first team are in and around. And we've got a new addition this week as well in Pierre Ekwa. He looks to be a great player, doesn't he? Obviously, we haven't seen him on the pitch yet, but by all accounts, it could be exactly what we need.
Yeah, I think so. A big prospect by all accounts, as you say, and we've brought a few in already this season, haven't we? You look at some of the boys who have come in and got right into it and are having a decent season. So he comes in, he'll compete for a place certainly. Again, one or two injuries at the weekend we've picked up. So yeah, we need bodies in the building. I think obviously the recruitment team are working hard, aren't they, to try and get a few more in between now and the end of the month. But certainly, yeah, he wants to come in and he's got to try and push himself for a starting place.
Absolutely. And it's going to be hard to get a starting place. You know, the team are doing so well at the moment. You just have to look at that last game of the weekend. What a brilliant game it was. 2-0 at home against Middlesbrough. Middlesbrough been playing great stuff under Michael Carrick since he came in, but Sunderland, they played brilliantly.
Well, we did, yeah, and I thought to be fair to the boys, they make Middlesbrough look ordinary, to be honest. I think, as you said there, they've been going great under Michael Carrick. I think he took over when they were in 21st place, got them up to 5th at the weekend, and I thought we were excellent. First half, the only thing that we were lacking was getting the breakthrough and getting a goal. We had a few opportunities, come out second half, got on the front foot again, and then obviously the penalty and the sending off. Debatable whether it was a penalty or not. I've had a look at it a few times. It's borderline edge of the box, but
we've had our amount of penalties we didn't get this season so far.
We were due a little bit of fortune from the officials, weren't we? But no, fully deserved the 3 points, and then it's tight up there now, isn't it? So positives around the place at the minute.
Yeah, okay then. We're going to be joined by Kieran on Zoom very soon. And it'd be great for you guys to catch up. And of course, we will be discussing that goal against Newcastle. Welcome to SAFC Unfiltered. Kieran Richardson. Kieran, how are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. You?
Very well, thanks. It's nice to reunite yourself and Danny Collins here as well.
Yes, Dan.
Yeah, it's been a few years on it, eh?
Yeah, no, are you working up Sunderland now, yeah?
Yeah, well, I work with Frankie match days. We do the commentary for the matches on SAFC Live and obviously the podcast. And I'm currently halfway through my A licence, so I'm in a few days a week with the 18s, mate, yeah.
Nice. I'm trying to come up there, I think on the 18th of February, Bristol City at home. I'm trying to watch a game, so I'll try and get there.
Yeah, have you seen much of Sunderland this season, Kieran?
I watched the last game on TV. Was it against Middlesbrough, 1-2-0?
Yeah.
I was watching that, but whenever it's on TV, I'll watch it for sure.
Yeah.
But I haven't been to the stadium in a long time to watch them actually play.
I was going to say, a while since you've been up here then, yeah, to the Stadium of Light, mate,
yeah, it's been a while. The only time I've been up there is when I'm playing against Sunderland. Other than that, I don't come up there. But I'm going to try and come up there on the 18th of next month.
Yeah. Good. So whereabouts in the world are you living at the moment then, Kieran?
So I live in London. So yeah, so from when I left Sunderland to come to Fulham, that's it now. I've stayed here ever since. I bought a house here and that's me.
Nice one. Okay then, we should get into it then. We're going to talk about your career, especially your time at Sunderland, going back to July 2007, you signed for Sunderland. Roy Keane was the manager. Was it Roy himself who approached you to join the club?
Yeah, it was Roy. Obviously, I knew Roy from my Man United days. And he came to Sunderland, did a great job, got them up from the Championship into the Premier League. And then when they got into the Premier League, he gave me a call, and I was at a crossroads at United at the time. He said, "I'll come to Sunderland," and definitely him being a manager swayed me to come there because I could have gone to Everton instead. But me knowing Roy, and I knew him very well, so that's the reason why I came to Sunderland. But obviously, I knew Sunderland was a massive club already, but I just thought he's one of the main reasons why I did come.
How was that, seeing Roy as a manager, other than normally he would be a teammate, at Manchester United? Was that strange to get used to at first?
Not really. I think with Roy, I think even as a player, you just had the utmost respect for him, because he was a great captain. He was a leader. For me, it was just the same thing, really.
Yeah, is that how you found him?
Yeah, I think obviously Kieran having more of an insight than some of us. I know he brought some other lads in. Obviously, you look at Johnny Evans came in, didn't he? Danny Simpson, young lads who he knew from his time at Manchester United as well. But for the likes of myself, obviously having watched him over the years, playing for United in the Premier League, and you sort of know what type of character he is. But when you get to work with him day to day, he is perhaps a little bit more relaxed than what a lot of the public see, isn't he, as well, Kieran? Behind closed doors, he does it. He's got that dry banter about him, and he can have a laugh and a joke, and then at the same time, he can flick the switch on Corny when it's time to work and get to it.
Yeah, definitely. You're right. He's a bit laid back in training and things like that. But as you said, when he can flip the script any minute, he can just know how you see him on TV now. That the way he is. That's how he is as a manager, really, in the changing room. Can be a bit cold. Some players thrive on it. Some players can't really handle that type of approach. But as me as a player, I always like that approach. He just tells you how it is, really. Yeah. That's it.
Do you remember a couple of times as well where the old tactics board got a bit of treatment, didn't they, in the changing room, and Cookie was there mopping things up?
Many a time, yeah. He would say to Cookie, bring that tactics board in here, and he'll just kick it down and say, whatever, we don't bloody need that. But yeah, some good times, man. Some funny times.
Are you surprised that Roy didn't last longer in management, and obviously went on to manage Ipswich as well, didn't he? But are you surprised that he's just done his media career rather than stayed in management?
Yeah, I'm surprised. I feel like he's got a lot to offer with Roy within the football game, and even you see him as a pundit. For me, he's probably my favourite pundit. You can see the way he talks. He just demands the best from players. That's what he wants. He's just trying to get the best out of players. But definitely, I feel like he could definitely be a manager, and being a manager, you can go on for a long time. So he still might get back into the game. So
yeah, you obviously played under Sir Alex Ferguson as well, one of the greatest managers of all time. I mean, how was he as a manager? Just how great was Sir Alex?
Unbelievable. It's hard to put in words. It's hard to describe it because I know as a player firsthand, but to describe it, it's all good me saying, "Oh, unbelievable, great, the best." But he was just like a father figure to everyone, and he could talk to everyone on a level. You were scared of him, but you wasn't scared of him. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. You knew the boundaries, and it was, he's a top guy. I think the best thing about him is the way he managed the team, managed players. It wasn't like he was like in training. He didn't take training once. Never took training. He was there every day, but he didn't take it. He had the coaches for that. But come game time, he knew the 11 to pick, who to speak to, and how to speak to them and get the best result.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of people who've said that, and there are some managers who are like that. I've played for some myself, where they're happy for the coaches to take the training, but they're always there keeping an eye on things, aren't they, in terms of looking at picking the team for the weekend. And it's that off-the-field management side of it you're saying there, by the sounds of it, whether the experienced pros or the younger boys, he sort of tries to treat them all the same, arm round them at times if needed, but if he needs to, he can get stuck into them as well in the changing rooms, yeah? The hairdryer.
Yeah, definitely. As I said, he would be there at training every day, and he would just he'd pull you to the side, have a little word with you, and you carry on training. He's always the first guy in training, always last to leave. It wasn't like he was just palming it off and letting the guy take the training session. No, he's there. He's fully involved. He knows what the coaches are doing every day. He'll probably go through it before training starts. This is what we're doing. So yeah, hats off to the guy. He's had an unbelievable career, and I know he had a rocky patch not so long ago. It wasn't too well, but it was good to see him to get through that.
Do you think Roy took a little bit of his management style on board as well then, Kieran? I know they had their differences, didn't they, at their time and towards the end at Manchester United for Roy, but do you think there's a little bit of similarities in the way they go about their management style?
Yeah, I think so. I think, how can you not? When you play under a manager for so long, you have that massive influence on you. I know Roy would probably say Cloughy was a massive influence on him. Yeah. Because Roy always says about Clough. And I'm sure he was a great manager as well. Well, we know he was. What he's done. But I feel like whoever you play under for so long, how many years, 10 years, you're going to pick things up. So yeah, definitely Roy had definitely some sort of Alex Ferguson's attributes for sure.
Yeah. Have you had time to reflect upon your career, Kieran, in your couple of years since retiring?
Not really. I don't really think about it. Sometimes when I sit there, watch TV and come on and score a goal or whatever, and you think, oh, nice. But I don't actually sit back and think, oh, wow, this and that. Life moves on, mate. We're still young men. We got new careers, families. Just life's too short to think about the past, really. Yes, I'm proud of what I achieved, but I've got other things to achieve as well.
On Saturday, the 25th of October, 2008, though, Sunderland fans will remember that date because you might not look back on it, but sure, Sunderland fans definitely do quite often. You wrote your name in Sunderland folklore with a winning goal in the derby, and derby wins were few and far between back then, Kieran. Can you remember that match and what was it like to play in?
Yeah, I do remember it. I mean, I remember the build-up to it because the week before we played Fulham away, and I scored I took 2 free kicks. I hit the crossbar post, and it went out. And I scored another free kick in the game, but Pascal Chimbonda was...
Oh, he fouled someone in the wall, didn't he? Did he foul someone?
Yeah,
that's right, yeah.
in the wall, so he got disallowed.
Yeah.
So I was on a bit of a roll. I was confident. And so I knew the following week, if we do get a free kick, I'm going to be in good position to try and, score a goal. But the whole week, everyone was saying like we'd never beaten them at home in like X amount of years. I can't remember how many years it was a lot. So, and I know how passionate everyone is in the city, in Sunderland. And as a player, when you're playing for the club, you just want to win that game so bad because you know how much it means to the fans. So for us to win that game and in the style we did, and obviously to get the winner to 2-1 is probably my best goal I've ever scored for me personally, for sure.
Yeah, a lot of people will ask me as well, Kieran, excuse me, in terms of best memories of playing for Sunderland, and probably the noise in a stadium as well. And I always go back to that one as well. I was right behind you. I was on the halfway line when you hit the free kick and it flew past Shay Given, hasn't it? And then the noise there as you ran over to the halfway line was celebrating. And I just remember my ears were popping as we were running over to sort of join you in the celebrations. The noise that day was unbelievable, wasn't it?
It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable to experience that and to be part of that history. And I love it because when I die from that in 100 years' time, they still be talking about it. Like, you know what I'm saying? So It's amazing to be part of that. And as you said, the noise is crazy, crazy, crazy. And it shows how much passionate everyone is about it.
Yeah, and obviously you play for some other big clubs as well, Fulham, Cardiff and Villa as well in your career, as well as United, of course. But what is it about Sunderland and the crowd there? And you mentioned that game there. What is it about Sunderland which gets the reputation it does as being this big club? And obviously over the last couple of seasons, particularly the last 4 or 5 years, Sunderland found themselves in League One. That must have been strange for you, looking back on a club like Sunderland and seeing them where they were.
Yeah, definitely. I don't like seeing that. When you see your club and you think of a club as the Premier League club and you see them down there in League One. But it happens. It's happened before with massive clubs, so it can happen. And hopefully, we're on the right track of coming back. But I've always said Sunderland was the best team that I've ever played for, best club that I've ever played for at my career, my favourite by a country mile. Even though Man United was a massive club, bigger club, but it wasn't my favourite club. I feel like Sunderland was my club. Regarding the fans, the difference is that I just feel like the love of it, the passion they have for the game and their actual club is superior to any other club I've been at.
Yeah,
I think
all I can say, really. I think you get that, don't you, Kieran, when you come up? And obviously, I'm like yourself. I'm from Chester. You're from down south, obviously coming from Manchester as well. But as soon as you sort of come to the area, you get it, don't you? We had similar time at the club, really, 5 years, nearly 6 years, I think, as players, and it just grows into you, doesn't it? I think when you're in and around the city, training every day, and you just get what it means to the fans.
Yeah, because I remember the first 2 years, I lived opposite the stadium, and everyone would say, "Why are you living in Sunderland?" But I loved it. Yeah. Me and the wife used to love just walking going in the city centre, going to restaurants, going to the cinema, going down the seaside with the dog, and just walking. I just loved it.
Yeah.
And you know what? It's mad because my kids, obviously, I've got kids now, and they don't know that life. That's why I really want to come up there and show them where I used to go and things.
It's a bit cheaper up here as well than London, mate, isn't it?
Yeah, mate. A lot cheaper. You know what, as well? The people are they're more happier, man. They're just happy.
Yeah.
Say hello to, you walk past someone, they'll say hello. In London, it's all business, isn't it, mate? Straight.
Absolutely. So Kieran, are you in touch with any of your colleagues from your playing days still?
Obviously, Anton's one of my best friends even before Sunderland. As a kid, I've always been friends with Anton, and I'm still friends with Anton now. So he's probably the only person I really talk to on a regular basis. But other than that, not really. It's just more of like an Instagram thing, hello, check in with all the boys,
Yeah, nice one. Is there any other moments playing for Sunderland you recall when you think back at your time here, apart from that derby goal?
I would probably say, I think it was against Portsmouth. I scored 2 goals against Portsmouth. That was, and you know what? Sorry, one of my good moments. Why I remember when I first signed for Sunderland, I got injured. I fractured my spine.
Yeah.
So I was out for like 6 months. But when I came back, I think it was against Bolton. I scored when I came back. It was like a real, I was really so happy because the fans hadn't seen me yet because I got injured straight away. So it was a massive relief for me. But I've had some great time at Sunderland. So many different things, different ones. Not even wins, just good times. All the banter with the boys and the train. Throughout my career at Sunderland, we had a good changing room. So I would definitely say the boys at the Sunderland was massive. Everyone at the club, Billy the masseuse. I know he's passed away now. I used to love that guy.
Yeah.
I really used to love him. But no, the whole club, I got nothing bad to say about that time. It was probably the best time. Probably the best time of my life so far in that era.
Kieran, I was just going to remember now, you've mentioned it there, you were injured in that season, and I think towards the end of the year, you put a few pounds on, but I remember when we come back for pre-season the year after, and I think you've been working with a personal trainer really hard, and you come back, you were ripped, you were lean, flying in pre-season, weren't you? Do you remember?
Yeah, I was massive. I was massive. Obviously being injured, I wasn't eating right, and I remember I said to Roy before the season finished, I'm going to come back, you're going to see. And the whole summer, I didn't go on holiday. I just trained. I got so fit, like fitter than you could ever imagine.
I
remember coming back in pre-season, running the boys ragged. It was like the guy's running too fast and things like that. Couldn't keep up with me. And then I knew from the work I put in, I was going to have a good season. And I had a great season after that.
Where would you say was your favourite position, Kieran, at the time at the club? I think you obviously played out on the left, played at left back.
My favourite position for sure was probably in the middle of the park.
Yeah.
For me, in the middle of the park, yeah. I know towards the end of my Sunderland career, I think Steve Bruce had me playing left back and Martin O'Neill as well. But for me, definitely in the middle of the park. I used to love it there.
Took my place at left back, mate, when Brucey sold me to Stoke, didn't you?
Yeah, he sold you to Stoke.
You're saying cheers, Steve.
Oh, crazy.
Now, it's tradition on the club podcast for the guests to do a little bit of a quick fire quiz. Mm-hmm. We have Lyndon Gooch is the current record scorer on the quiz. He's got 5 out of 5. So, Kieran, we're going to see how you're going to do. Now, Danny's got the questions. Are you ready for the quiz?
Okay, I'll probably get 1 out of 5 knowing me. Go on, carry on.
He's not backing himself. Just 5 general knowledge in there, Kieran. So, first one, what is Walker's Crisps' most popular sold flavour of crisps?
Oh, cheese and onion.
Cheese and onion is correct.
Oh.
Yeah.
Of course it is, mate. Of course it is.
That's your 1 out of 5.
Yeah, that's my 1.
Okay, question number 2. How many children does Kris Jenner have?
Kris Jenner?
Yeah. How many children has she got?
2 girls and I think 2 boys or 3 boys. I'll say 4.
6.
Really?
Got 6,
wow.
yeah.
Amazing.
Courtney, Kim, Chloe, Rob, and then Kendall and Kylie. Question number 3. Which club had 3 players starting in the World Cup final? So which league club was it? I'm going to give you multiple choice on this one. Was it PSG, Real Madrid, or Atletico Madrid? Which one of those had 3 players playing in the World Cup final? Oof, just thinking about it.
I'll go PSG.
Atletico Madrid.
Really?
Yeah, Molina, De Paul, and Griezmann.
Wow.
The 3, yeah. Okay.
Cool.
Question number 4.
Yeah.
0121 is the area dial code for which English city?
0121.
Yeah.
Sunderland. Sunderland.
No, I think you would. Well, you've certainly been down there. No, it's not Sunderland. I'm going to give you another go.
What is it?
0121. Yeah, 0121.
Birmingham.
Correct.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
We'll give him that one.
Give him that one, yeah. I'll give you that one, yeah.
Yeah, give me that one. Birmingham.
And the last one, question number 5. In a deck of playing cards, what are all 4 queens holding in one of their hands?
Ooh.
Do you want a multiple choice? Do you want me to give you a multiple choice again?
Yeah, that's hard. That's
okay.
detailed.
That's hard, Danny.
Well, it's either a knife, a flower, or a glass of wine.
Oh, wow.
And they're all holding the same thing?
They're all 4 are holding the same thing.
Well, it's a queen, isn't it? So I'm going to go wine.
It's a flower.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. You know, I never ever would have known that.
No.
Is you learning as well as you're reconnecting with the
amazing.
Sunderland fan base?
I love it.
Yeah.
2 out of
2 out of
5.
5, mate.
Not bad.
Middle of the road. Okay, I was going to ask you post-football then. I've seen you on your Instagram over the years. You've been selling watches or into the watch trade. What's been going on there, yeah? Is that still a business?
So I own a watch company called Broadwalk Group. I started a company in 2017, so a while ago now. To be fair, throughout my whole career, I've always been a watch guy, a watch connoisseur, if you want to say. I've been collecting watches since I was 16 years old. So I've always been into it. And so when I finished playing, it was just like, well, even I was doing watches when I was playing as well. So it just fell into it really. It's another passion of mine. Obviously, football's my first hobby. Then my second would be watches. So now we supply watches to customers all around the world. So a lot of people, when I look on my Instagram, my Instagram's called Broadwalk Kieran. People will type my name in, Kieran Richardson. I'm not there.
Right.
It's Broadwalk as my company. And the reason why I called it Broadwalk, because that's the street of the name as a kid. My street as a kid was called Broadwalk. That's why I called my company that. But you know what? I'm really happy the way it's going. And I don't really look at it as a job for me. It's just like a hobby thing for me. And I just love it. So I love going to work every day, meeting new clients, making them happy, selling them watches to them. You know, we've got a team of 5 people in the office now working as well. But, you know, life's good regarding the watches. And that's it, really. It's my other passion, so I don't really look at it as a job. And
you retired at 31, nearly 32, I think. Then you finished off at Cardiff.
Yeah, I stopped playing. Yeah, I stopped playing very early.
Injuries or just had enough by then, or
bit of both. My calf was playing up. I couldn't even now when I try to kick a ball, my calf just goes straight away. And I was my family, we wanted to be. I think Cardiff was my last club, and I signed a 6-month deal there, and I think I played like 4 times. And I was like, this ain't for me. So I went back to London. Obviously I had my watch company going on as well. So it just moved swiftly, transition hand in hand. So I didn't actually think, oh, I've retired in football. I had another thing going on over there. I was just working. So that's how I look at it really. I didn't come out and say, oh, I'm retiring Sky Sports. I've never done that. So I'm not really bothered.
So have you thought in terms of not interested in coaching or management, any media stuff or anything like that, or just happy with the watch business?
No, not for me. I respect it. I know it's hard, very hard, you know, to become a coach and a manager or even in the media. But it's not for me. I like watching it, but I'm a shy guy. I'm a shy guy, so I like staying behind the camera and just cracking on. What
about your children? Are they sporty? Would you encourage them to have a sporting career?
Yeah, my children, I've got 2 girls. So they are very sporty. They go to like a sports school, but they're into netball, tennis, running. They love football. They just started football actually. So I've been taking the girls football. But yeah, they're very sporty.
And obviously it's a completely different landscape now, women's football, to when you first started out as a pro now as well. You got England women winning the Euros, Sunderland, you know, going through the leagues at the moment as well as a club. As you know, the professional game's come on miles, hasn't it?
Yeah, miles. And as you said, I think that Euros set the standard. Like, wow, it's like we all woke up to it. Like it's amazing, right? And it's nice seeing the ladies sell out stadiums and things like that. It's really nice seeing it. And who knows where it's going to go for the women's football. But right now it looks very, very strong, and hopefully it continues.
Yeah, fantastic. Have you got a final word to the Sunderland fans who'll be listening to this around the world, Kieran? And they'll be delighted to hear from you, because you're someone, like you say, we don't really hear from that often, but they'll have great memories of your time at Sunderland.
I can't swear on here, can I?
You can if you like. I can beat you. I can beat you.
TM, bro. No, I'm only joking. You know what? The final words, you know what? Thanks to all the fans, unbelievable. Everyone around the club, you know, even to the people who make the food upstairs, unbelievable people. Everyone made my time such an amazing time. And, you know, I love everyone up there.
Joyce is still here, mate, in the canteen as well. Remember Joyce? She's still going.
Lovely.
She's in the canteen.
So give her a kiss for me.
Yeah.
Give her a kiss for me.
Kieran Richardson speaking to us here on SAFC Unfiltered. He was lovely. And is that exactly how he was when he played for the club?
Yeah, well, he seems like he's enjoying his, I say retirement. He's busy at it, still selling watches, isn't he, by all accounts? And a fairly relaxed lad around the place. You know, good talent, as you say. First season injuries, he mentioned there, but he come back sharp and fit. And I thought he was a good player for the club. few different positions, asked him what he preferred, obviously playing in the middle of the park. But no, I think everyone at the club remembers him for that goal against Newcastle, and I still do.
You described it as being the noisiest thing you've ever heard.
I put it to, obviously, at the end of last season, we were down at the playoff final, and that was probably Wembley, a close one to it. Obviously, nearly 50,000 Sunderland fans in Wembley, and that noise was ridiculous, wasn't it? We were pitch side, and then playing in that right behind Kieran, he hit that free kick, sweet, flew past Shay Given, as we said, and then just running over for the celebrations on the halfway line. I remember my ears were popping, couldn't hear what was going on. Fantastic scenes, and no, it was a good day. Yeah,
a good day. Many more to come, hopefully, for Sunderland. They're in FA Cup action at the weekend against Fulham, a side who are doing quite well themselves in the league.
Going well, yeah, good season. Come up short last night against Tottenham, but no, they're having a good season. If you'd have said that before, the start of the season where they're coming up as a new team and having a good season like they are doing, they're well organised and they play some good football. They may look to rest a few at the weekend. I'm guessing that Tony Mowbray will go with the strongest team he can possible. Obviously, we mentioned there 1 or 2 injuries at the weekend. Corey picking up that knock on his knee. Aji Elise come back in, done great. He came off towards the end. I think he picked up an injury, so they'll assess everyone. But we'll go down there and give it a good go. Yeah,
and then back in league action again against Millwall. In a way, do you think Tony Mowbray would want the games to be coming round a bit faster, keep up that momentum from the Middlesbrough game?
It's a difficult one because, yes, I would say you do, and you like Saturday, Tuesday or Saturday, Wednesday to keep it going. But at the same time, we keep picking up injuries. We're getting 1 or 2 back out the treatment room, and then unfortunately we keep picking up another couple of injuries in games, and he's losing a couple. So it might not be a bad thing where you get that full week training and get the opportunity for the injured boys who have picked up a little niggly one in the game can rest up and try and be ready for the weekend. So, but good atmosphere around the place. We're in here, in the corridors, in the canteen. You're seeing the boys, good spirits, and rightly so as well. We've come up after getting through the playoffs last season. Everyone was wondering perhaps how's the season going to go, but where we're at currently, we're in a good position.
Yeah, and of course the transfer window is still open as well. There's a hive of activity up here at the Academy of Light. You'd think they'd be trying to get another 1 or 2 over the line, do you think?
Definitely, yeah, I think so. It's hard to gauge, isn't it? I think because when you've got the full squad to pick from, then it's good competition for places, but he hasn't got that full squad at the minute. As we mentioned it there, there's too many in the treatment room. But yeah, you're always looking to strengthen. Of course you are. We're going great, but you look at top end of the pitch. Everyone knows it. If Ross picks up his injury, where are we? We're short at that top end of the pitch. So I'm sure they're looking at getting a striker in, maybe another centre sitting midfielder. We were talking to Julio at the weekend. I feel a good strong unit in the middle of the park there. Dan Neil's had to drop in there at times, and he's been great. But I'd like, you want to see Dan Neil higher up the pitch. You're taking something away from him if you restrict him in that sitting role. So I keep saying it, I'm not on the recruitment team. It's up to Christian, Stuart Harvey, these are the people in and around the place. It's their job, and I'm sure they're working hard to try and strengthen.
Nevertheless, an exciting time for Sunderland fans. They find themselves at this moment of the season just outside the playoffs.
Yeah.
And it's very tight, isn't it?
Tight, yeah, right up until third. We keep saying it, the top 2, unless one of them has a bad spell and the wheels come off, you can't really see them dropping out of those 2 places. But then you're looking from third, I think it's at Watford at this moment in time, right the way down to 10th, 11th. 4 or 5 points in it. It's
and of course, we played everyone, Danny.
Yeah.
We're as good as all them teams, aren't we?
That's the thing, and I think I speak to a couple of the players when I see them around, and I have this conversation. I'll say, "Well, who do you think's been the out?" And it's hard for them to think because we haven't been blown away in any games.
We've beaten most of those teams.
We've beaten most teams. Yeah, listen, we come up in a couple of games where you go back to the Burnley game where second half we had a bad 45 minutes, and over 90 minutes, perhaps Cardiff, we weren't quite at it, but. We've been in most games this season, haven't we? Nobody's blown us away. We haven't been passed off the park. And the table shows that. And I think if you look at our front 4-5 when they're at it, there's perhaps people will say there's no one better. You look at the 4 what we had up there at the weekend, Ahmad and Patrick. The interplay between those two out when Ahmad drifts up to that right hand side, the link up play is ridiculous, and they pop it around defenders and they make it look easy. And you've got Ross in the middle of the box, Jack on the other side. You've got Alex Pritchard to come back in. You've got other injuries in there as well. We'll cause any team at this level problems.
Yeah, exciting times for Sunderland fans. Don't forget to subscribe to SAFC Unfiltered, sponsored by Alpha Security, of course. You can subscribe to us on all major podcast platforms. Do it right now, and we'll see you soon.